Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get, we're already open for business here. I'm actually trying something new. What's going on? Just doing a little test run here. We've got the draft coming up 2 weeks from tonight, and I want to have the guys on over, and I'm trying some new stuff. You know, I'm technology challenged when it comes to the system and all that, and I've been basically learning on the fly here, trying to get my sound together, get my camera views and things like that. And so what I'm hoping that you guys will do right now, and just help me out a little bit here, because we're going to try a couple of different things, and I want to see how it looks, how it sounds, if it's going to work, if it's a keeper, if it's not a keeper. So you guys can let me know, sink or swim, basically, as we sit 147 days and 17 minutes and 43 seconds. Forgot you guys are actually behind, and I can actually see how far behind you guys are. Right now, I'm at 17:35, and you're at 17:52. Whatever happens, you will have a great stream. I don't know about that, but this, I'm telling you, I'm hoping is going to be at a whole new level. Like I said, this isn't my night. I hope I'm not squashing on anybody whose regular night it is. But what I'm doing is I'm actually trying out multiple cameras and different locations so we can go from one set to the other. The way my man cave is actually set up here, we actually have a sitting section over here with like a 70-inch TV. We've got a bar that's actually over there, and then we have our magnetic board over there with our teams and things, and outside I have my fire pit. So what I want to do is I want to actually be able to go from one set to the other and see how it actually looks. So while I'm doing this real quick, so this is one of the things that I can actually do, and this has all been crazy because I don't know editing, cameras, and all this, that, and the other, but I actually have this thing right here, which is a streaming board, and this thing actually is the controls for everything. I literally have 5 cameras hooked up right now. The clock, I know some people are like, man, it's 147 days. It's like, dude, we started out at 225. So is the sound okay right now? Let me know if the sound's not. But I'm learning how to do all kinds of stuff with this software. And one of the reasons I'm also doing this tonight is this should be the night that Cowboys Experience, and actually let me go ahead and do that too. Cowboys Experience goes ahead and, oops, nope, I messed that up. Cowboys Experience goes ahead and, what am I not doing right on that? Okay, hold on. Forgive me here, guys. Okay, sorry. Graphics. Push up. Okay, hang on. Oh, push. That's it. Okay. All right. So Cowboys Experience, see, and this is, again, I'm still working on getting this stuff together. So Cowboys Experience, you'll see them down in the bottom corner. They're going to be working with me so we can do some stuff that's going to be really, really cool. I'm actually going to be doing like a show on their Facebook page, like one a week or so, and they're working on actually bringing up a player or two to do actually an autograph signing show. Somebody actually asked me, they said, you're not in Dallas? And it's like, no, I'm not actually in Dallas. I actually live in Northern Virginia and have been a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. That's a long story on how I became one and stuff. But like I said, I'm trying to work on becoming the best Dallas Cowboy YouTuber there is. So what we're going to be able to do is, and let me see if I've got this stuff straightened out, we'll be able to do kind of some stuff like, let me make sure, like I said, this is just a test. I'm actually running 3 computers when I go through here and do this stuff. So we'll end up having this one cam that's right here, so that way we could watch our clips and stuff. This is courtesy of Law Nation here. This is his Dak Prescott touchdowns. All of them. Dog, that's not your toy. That's Roscoe's. So we'll be able to Skype in, bring in other people like we're doing over here now. and we may end up having Big Game James during the draft Skyping in. Then I'll be able to do some other things, like let's say, let me go ahead and pause this. Let's try this one because this one's going to be the big one. So what I'm hoping, and let me make sure I got this straight here. In fact, let me pull up the YouTube channel because I need to see the comments. Never looked at my own live stream online before. I'm not even sure I know how to get to it. So bear with me. Hold on, guys. Okay. There we are. My live
personal number was fine for a while.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna try something new here. This is the first now. This is the first. We're gonna actually switch up here, and hopefully my mics will be fine. Okay, let me know if you guys blowing eardrum on camera in front of TV. Okay. Actually, okay, let me check those settings because I have to make sure webcam for. Oh, okay, you are 100% right. Hold on. That one should be off. Thank you. And where's my media? Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Sorry about that. See, again, this is learning. So, let's see. Let's see if you guys can actually see me here. This is actually sitting at the bar right here with a different cam. And I have too low on the bar cam. You can't see me on the bar? I'm sitting here at the bar. You guys haven't caught up with me yet. Volume is nice on this one. Okay, this is actually me with a wireless microphone over here. And like I said, we're going to be able to, ideally what I want to be able to do is I want to actually bring a lot of people over. I want to have people over so we're watching the game and stuff, that we have a camera that's over here so that way we can interact with everybody who's over here at the bar. Or if we're actually over here at the studio, I can be over there controlling it, or if people are over there. Or if I need to, I can come on over here. And if I need to just get a little taste at the bar. Okay, I shouldn't probably drink, of course, online, but just a little taste. We'll just get a little bit of Bacardi over here. And we'll be able to have a seat at the bar. Now, what I'm planning on doing, and I'm hoping that my guys, E2 Blue, DMV, Dallas Cowboys, New York Stinking Giant fan, we're going to try and do a draft show. I think the first night from here, we're going to have chicken wings and all that. We actually have our magnetic board over here. I think I've got too much light with this one. I need to probably turn that down. It's not too bright. But we can move around with our stickers and things. So we can do all kinds of stuff sitting here at the bar doing stuff. So let me check and see. The volume is low on the bar cam. Okay, tell you what. Let me adjust that because it's actually a wireless. Let me turn that up a little bit more. Okay. How's the sound on that? Is that better? Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Volume low on the bar cam. We're actually doing a little test run here at the Jobu Sports Report. I'm using my studio software with multiple cameras. Now, what's cool is I can actually use my cell phone and make that a remote camera. So when we start working, turn up the volume more. Okay, let me see if I can actually turn it up from here too. Okay, let's see if that's better. Sorry. Yep, perfect. Okay. When we're doing stuff Cowboys experience, for example, we went to Lava Cantina, and we had the autograph signing show. And when we did it, when I was there, we actually had bad weather.
so we couldn't use the outdoor section like they usually do. But what I'm told by Law Nation is they basically set it up like a media row. So as the players come in, Law's interviewing them and things like that. Then you have the signing tables where they're signing and stuff with all the fans and things. So by being able to use multiple cameras and that or remote control, I can set a camera at the table with the players. I can have, Law Nation over if he's getting people as they're coming in, and we can switch from location to location. So basically, what we're going to be able to do is be able to do like a production type of show with what we have here. The only thing that's bad right now or difficult is because I'm the one that's running all of this by myself. Ideally, what you would want is you want to have somebody at the board that would be changing. What's happening, Cowboys fan 1973? Ricky Nice, Wendell, Peyton. Okay. All right. So let's try one more different trick out here. Okay. Now this will be the one that'll be fun. Let me grab my taste here. Just a little taste, just to get the weekend going. Okay. Now this is the one I'm hoping works out really, really good. Okay. So if I go back to, see, I can come right back to my desk here, and I still hopefully have good sound on it. And then I'll go over here, and we're going to do, oh, this is, okay. All right. Are you ready for this? We're going to go, look, right now. We're going to go ahead and do something nobody else has done before, guys. Nobody else has done anything like this, as far as I know, on YouTube. That's a YouTube blogger. So this is what, for me, is going to be freaking incredible. Last year, I'm sorry about all the buildup here, but I'm just excited. Last year, I talked about this with my boys, E2 and all them, because I said, listen, I want to set this up so we can all get together. We can have like roundtable discussions and stuff, and we can really just take it to a whole nother level. And that's why last spring at this time, I started building like my outdoor set. And I got the fire pit, I got the benches that wrap around it and stuff. Because literally we can put, let's see, we put about 8 or 9 people around on the benches, and we can have some other chairs around. So we can put about 10 people around the fire pit. And we've been out there before smoking cigars and, having a few drinks after Cowboys victories and things like that. But what this will be able to do, now that I'm finally beginning to learn how to use this software, is I'll be able to have those guys even outside, and we'll be able to communicate back and forth, and I can be here running the board or just being able to do a lot of stuff. So here we go. Let's see how this works, guys. You guys ready for this? Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here, sitting outside in our outdoor studio. And let's see if we can get the fire pit going here. Boom. Okay. How you like that? This has been, I've been working on this constantly. It drives my wife crazy because, as she puts it, you spend so much time doing this stuff. In fact, yesterday I was working when I got home from work, had to do some work in the workshop for that kitchen to get it together and stuff, cooked dinner, came downstairs, and I was trying to figure out how to be able to use all of this equipment. And she's calling me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to be able to go from the inside to the outside with the cameras and stuff. And she's just like, that doesn't really have any value to it. You should be working on this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, what the are you talking about? See, understand that people want to see, one, you want to hear good stuff. You want to hear real knowledge on the football. But two, you also want to have something that makes you feel good about watching. And so you also, you want to constantly keep trying to find the next thing, try and take it to another level. I go through, I research my ass off. I mean, I'm old. And when you guys, if you're 50 years or older, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But you wake up a couple of times in the middle of the night and you got to go to the bathroom and take a piss. I am in the middle of the night, excuse my language, in the middle of the night, I'm going through and I'm researching. I'm trying to find anything and everything and the numbers to back it up. So that way when I come out here, I'm not always right. I know I'm not always right, and I don't know that there's anybody in football that's always right. But I at least have a basis for what I'm talking about. And so that's the first thing you got to be able to do. You got to be able to at least know what you're talking about. The second thing is you need to have a good look, and you got to stay hungry. If you're satisfied that, hey man, I got 5,000 subscribers and people are watching my videos, then you know what? You're never going to grow. You want to grow, you got to continue to work hard every single day. If you don't, people are going to pass you by. You won't grow. You won't get what you want to come out of it. And that's not only true about YouTube, that's about anything in life. When I went through and I did that kitchen, I got people who are calling me now. They're like, I'd like you to do my kitchen and things. Because I went the extra mile to make sure that I put a few things in there that I didn't have to do. But it shows that you really care about the work. And when you do that, and I don't care if it's building cabinets, I don't care if it's YouTube, I don't care if it's scrubbing toilets. If you go the extra mile, you will get recognized and you will succeed. And that brings me back to the Cowboys. And I put a video up just before I did this about staying hungry. You cannot ever in life be satisfied with what you do. There's a company that somebody that works for, and I remember them saying years ago when they came up with the new idea, they said, that's not the way we do it. We are blah, 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 blah. They need to follow our lead. That company's in trouble right now because ain't nobody following their lead because they figured this is the way that we've always been doing it. Why change? Everything else has changed and gone by it. So with the Dallas Cowboys, they were very successful last year. You could look and say the second half of that season, man, you got Zeke Elliott running great. You got Amari Cooper who's catching the ball. You got Blake Jarwin who's now going there. You could say, let's not change anything. We're good. But guess what? You got a season's worth of film that guys are dissecting right now to find out what weakness you have. Is it that Dak Prescott can't go to the left and throw? Or how to get Dak Prescott out of balance? Or do we need to run blitz to make Zeke Elliott have to make a move in the backfield? They are taking every single thing that you did and they're figuring out how to stop it. So if you do not change what you're doing, you're going to be back in the toilet. But I feel like the Dallas Cowboys are doing something different. New high definition. Well, this is what's cool, guys. Okay, so I get a lot of flack and stuff. This is the reason why we're able to do this is mainly because of all of you guys. Because when you guys have made donations and things to the channel, when we've done like the fundraisers, things like where Joseph Hartley has sent me merchandise and stuff, and I've given it away, I put the money back into this. Right now, this camera that's sitting right here in front of you is an $800 camera with the boost battery. It's Amiibo wireless camera. I've got two of them. Before the season starts, I'm going to get a third one. So this camera will go without being plugged into anything for 12 hours. So when we go to, an autograph signing show, I can put that on the table and you can see our players and stuff right now. And literally I can push a button and go to that camera. And this is the evolution of the Jobu Sports Report. So this camera right here is not just a regular webcam. This is a 4K camera. So yeah, and it's showing my belly too. Norm Hartford. I'm just doing like a test run on my set to be able to use multiple cameras and multiple locations. And I think the dog is eating up my Australian little, hang on a second here. Let me switch up for a second. Simba. This is not a dog toy. This is actually from Michelle, our friend from Australia, the one who brought me the Vegemite. Little kangaroo from Australia. Dog. Damn. Okay. Let's go back to, see, this is where it's kind of cool. See, I push this button auto, and it goes back to the other camera. All right, and so we're back out here. So this is kind of cool that I can do this stuff just like that. And what I envision being able to do is getting the guys out here, game day, have the TV outside, in the cabinet right there, watching games, smoking cigars, drinking some alcohol or beverage of your choice. Let me not say drink alcohol, but be able to have conversations about football and just kind of enjoy the moment. So this is what I'm working on. This is thanks to you guys that we're able to do this, and I'm planning on bringing some of you fans over, which is scary, over to the man cave to watch some games and stuff with us during the season. So that's where we are with that. And also too, with Cowboys Experience, we're going to try and make the biggest tailgate ever at FedEx Field. I know the place is a dump. I get that. But we want to literally take over that stadium when the Cowboys play the Redskins. And we're also going to be doing a trip to Dallas for the Redskin game. So I'm hoping that we can get a whole bunch of our fans and stuff together. We'll be hanging out at the same hotel. We'll have meetups. We'll be live streaming. We'll have autograph signing. We'll be going to the games. So it's going to be a lot of different stuff that we'll be doing. And you want an invite? Well, maybe what we'll do drawings, if you're in the VA area and stuff. But we're going to be doing a lot more stuff than we used to. We're also going to be probably at training camp for a few days as well. And I'm hoping to have actually sideline passes so that way the look that you're getting right now will be like, they have if you've ever gone to training camp, they've made it so it's about getting paid. They have the bleachers on one side, which are in the sun. Then if you want to have field access, you basically have to get the membership, which is, $20 or whatever it is. So that way you can be actually down on field level. And then behind the end zone, they have where the players come in, they have kind of the VIP section and where the media and stuff. So you'll see 103.5, the fan, and this, that, and the other. That's where all those guys are, and that's where they do all the interviews. I'm hoping, Barry, that Barry's going to get us right back in there. So that way we'll get some more access to the players and get closer to it. Because I want to bring, my thing with this whole channel is bringing you guys along to the event like you're there. So let me look at some of these questions here and see if this is doing it. You'd make that drive from North Carolina for sure? Okay. Now that'd be cool. Austin, well, definitely. And the other thing too, we also do, this is where it's funny because Marcus Patton, the former Washington Redskin, actually owns the bar, but Lucky's Sports Bar, we're going to probably do the second and the third day at Lucky's for the draft. And it's actually a really nice spot. The food is great. The service is great. And that's another reason why I want to be able to do these cameras like this, because there's a Dallas Cowboy fan club that meets there. The only problem is you've got to make sure the cameras aren't showing the televisions because the NFL is going to shut you down. So I'll be able to take one of these cameras, put in front of those guys, so that way I can get them their action and everything else. I can have the camera on me and the guys and stuff. So we're going to really and truly get this thing rocking and rolling and hopefully make it really, really good. Well, thank you, Jeff. Is the sound okay? Sounds okay out here? You can hear me okay? Head coach? No, I don't want to be the head coach. No. We'll leave that to Jason Garrett. But I will say this much. X's and O's wise, we have been let down. Clock management over the years and sometimes boneheaded calls at the wrong time. And as Vashel put it, sometimes players got to execute what's called, which is true. But the one thing that I can honestly say, and I've said this a couple times, that I have to give credit to Jason Garrett for is the fact that that team stays a team. You don't ever hear anybody going Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell. We had the contract situation with DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence basically said, you know what, I would have played on the tag. I wouldn't have been happy about it, but, he wasn't going to sit out the season like you had Le'Veon Bell. And the only negative we had was actually Cole Beasley, throwing hot sauce on the team after he left. But I think that's more a feeling like you broke up in a relationship more than actual hate. Everybody, when you leave somebody, you're kind of pissed off. So that's what I think that ended up being right there with Cole Beasley. I wish him the best and all that, except when the Cowboys play him. But you've never seen this team, no matter how bad things got, and we got bad. Think about last year, I mean, not this past season, but the season before, when we went into the slump, when Zeke Elliott, got suspended. You didn't see people throwing him under the bus. When Dak Prescott was playing poorly, you didn't see people pointing fingers and saying, let's get rid of that guy. You don't see this team ever fracturing. And to see them all going out to see Dirk Nowitzki retire, to see that many guys show up in the offseason, because this is really the last bit of time until the summer that they have as free time. But yet those guys are all there in Dallas together. And you've got to love that. And that atmosphere is a good thing. We'll see if it leads to them making it all the way, but you have to at least agree that he's done a good job at keeping the team together. Now, we'll see if Kellen Moore is better with the X's and O's. He's actually got a little bit better talent, I think, to work with than we started out the season last year. Now, here's an interesting thing for you. Oh, I think we definitely upgraded the position. Now, here's the interesting thing, and I forgot about it, but Michael Anthony reminded me, is Jason Garrett is an enigma. And it's always like the wrong way rooting type of a thing. You don't expect a team to lose their first game making the playoffs, generally speaking. Usually if you lose the first two, your odds of going to the playoffs are lessened. But the Cowboys, every time under Jason Garrett, they've won the first game, they have missed the playoffs. They lose the first game, they seem to get in. It doesn't make any sense. But that's literally how it is with Jason Garrett. So, right now, we know that DeMarcus Lawrence had shoulder surgery yesterday, and that could be as much as a 4 to 6 months recovery time. He's saying he'll be ready by week 1, and we believe it's going to be in New England, at least from what we got from Rich Eisen's show when he was saying, are you going to be ready when they hoist the banner up in New England? Which I think was a hint that we're going to be opening up Sunday night against New England, or Thursday night against New England. And if that's the case, training camp will open up a few days earlier too. We also know that Byron Jones had his hip operated on a few weeks back. That was one of those things that slowed him down. And then today we find out that La'el Collins had his rotator cuff operated on back in February. So now you're looking at, are these guys going to be ready for the beginning of training camp and or even the beginning of the season? And are we trying to win the first game of the season? Thoughts? Trailblazer, the bad, where the bad talk came last year? It was actually Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley was the one that was saying, we're doing our job. Cole Beasley was about the only one. And after they got rid of Dez was the other one before. Other than that, well, yeah, really, that was Cole Beasley. Other than that, and you expect that. I mean, think about what the Washington Redskins did. They had to get rid of, not Salinger, their defensive back. Because he was literally throwing the coaching staff under the bus every single week. I'm trying to remember. They had a couple of players that fractured. But you would expect that people would be upset. If they weren't upset about being 3-5, then maybe they're in the wrong business. But you still didn't have people saying, F this team, let's get the hell out of here. Is New England ready for us is the question. Well, it's going to be interesting to see it's going to be interesting to see how that pass rush goes. And this is a question that I was actually thinking about. And Big James got me thinking about it yesterday. All right. You look at right now, wide receiver. We got a log jam, right? You got Allen Hurns, who's recovering. You got Randall Cobb. Hopefully he's in, shape like he used to be a few years ago. You got Amari Cooper. You got Michael Gallup. And then you've got, Noah Brown and Cedric Wilson as well. Okay? You've got a lot of people right there, right now. Tight end wise, we could definitely use another tight end, I think. I think Rico will probably be gone. Somebody had asked if we should make him a 3-technique defensive tackle. I don't think that's going to work. But you got to look at Jason Witten's heir apparent. Offensive line, you could always use another offensive lineman, but you still kind of have quite a few offensive linemen that are there too. I mean, you've got Connor Williams, who put on some more meat, your number 2 draft pick. You've got, of course, Zach Martin. You've got Travis Frederick. You've got Tyron Smith. Those guys aren't going there. You've got Lyle Collins. You got Xavier Salafalo, who's going to be fighting it out with Connor Williams for the starting spot. You've got Joe Looney, who can play guard or center or the other guard. You've got Cam Fleming, who's also a swing tackle. So you kind of have guys that those guys are pretty much going to make the roster. Defensive line, okay. You've got DeMarcus Lawrence. You've got, Robert Quinn. You may end up having Randy Gregory back. You got Tyrone Crawford. You got Antoine Woods. You've got basically the guys that are going to make the team. Defensive backfield, you can never have too many cornerbacks. And safeties, we've got 3. So we have a number 2, a number 3, 2 number 4s, number 5, a 6, and a 7. Not all those guys are going to have space on this team. So do you go ahead and say, instead of getting a couple of guys that have no chance of even making the roster, or if you are really in on the season, do you say, let's trade up? Let's trade up and try and get an impact player right now, as opposed to getting a bunch of guys that are going to be so-so. And that's probably one of those thoughts that the Cowboys are having, and they're going to be probably looking at the board and seeing what's falling to there. And I make the mistake, if somebody that a great safety or something like that starts falling, and they say that this guy can step in day one and make us a better team, make no mistake, I think the Cowboys package up and move up in the draft. ACPI, thank you very much for the super chat. Everybody who donated to the Dak Prescott Stand Up for Cancer, I'm putting you guys in with the regular drawings and stuff that we're doing. And everybody who did super chats last Friday when I was in California, Monday, as well as any that have been done during the week, I'll add you guys and we'll do another drawing tomorrow night. So appreciate all the support that you guys give. For me, definitely is. Well, it's going to get interesting because, like the Cowboys say, they're all in. A 2, a 3, 2 4s, a 5, and a 7. I thought we traded Robert Quinn for next year's 6. Where did we lose that 6 for this year then? What's good? I'm just chilling out here, trying something new, trying multiple locations, and let's change locations real quick here. You guys know I'm old. Actually, let me turn off the fire. And actually, I need to turn off the hose to the fish pond too. Hold on. I don't move as fast as I used to, guys. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the other set. Okay, let's go to, boom. All right. I like this. So I can start getting comfortable here. E2, DMV, I need you guys to bring your asses back on over here. Hold up, we demand boys. What's up, little sweet? Thank you very much for the super chat. Um, you wanna? What's good? Oh my God, have you guys ever been to Buffalo? Because I went to Buffalo for a photo shoot, and the stadium is kind of funny when you look at it. When you drive up to Buffalo Stadium, it looks like a high school stadium, but it's way, way underground. And when you go through the tunnel to go down to the field, it's like a tunnel that goes way down in there. But it gets cold, and I mean cold, and lots of snow. And Buffalo, it ain't a whole lot in Buffalo. I mean, seriously, it ain't a whole lot in Buffalo. You might go on over to, across the way to Canada and stuff and have a little bit more fun. But that ain't Dallas. That's going to be, yeah, you're going to be cold up in there. The cornerback release is okay. Right, exactly. Okay, and then that goes back to looking at the 6th round pick and stuff. The question is, if you've got a guy that you think is a can't miss guy, do we trade up and use that? Oh, Adrian, see, again, like I said, I've got lots of plans. My deck upstairs is actually my outdoor kitchen, and I built that probably about 12 years or so ago. The cabinets are weathered out real bad, and I need to do a new countertop. So I'm going to redo that whole outdoor kitchen, and I'm going to try and, if I can get the money together, I'm going to try and get the grill. One of these like 6-burner grills and stuff with the griddle into it and everything else. Can I add you, please? Can I add you to, what do you want me to add you to? Add you to come into the man cave? Sure. Any Cowboys fan, we are friends for life. I like that. Make mine a Bud Light. Okay. All right. Well, we got the bar sitting here, so we can fix you something. There's actually a refrigerator up underneath the bar that's in there. And then there's a big refrigerator that's in the closet there behind Roger Staubach as well. So we're going to be ready for the season. I've got a lot of work between now and then. I've got 146 days to finish getting this stuff all together. Got to do some painting down here, a little bit of spackling and stuff, but it's getting some new couches because those are really, really worn out. I'm going to friend request me. Well, here's Sears. Do me a favor if you do that. I don't have that many spaces that are left in Facebook, and there's like 600 friend requests there. Send me an instant message and say, "Hey, I'm one of your YouTube subscribers. Add me." Little Sweet, go check out your vlog channel. What's it on? Is it on? It's not on YouTube. You enjoyed the new camera setup? Well, now this is what's funny. Now the picture, at least on my cell phone, looks really, really clear right now. This is just a regular webcam here, and this is not like the 920. This is like a 210 camera. So this actually looks, at least on my cell phone, looks pretty clear. Dante, well, I'll tell you what, email me at cowboysmark94@gmail.com, and we'll talk about that. So this is what we got, man. I'm really, really kind of proud of this, and this is beginning to come together. I'm happy you guys joined in, but sound wise, sounds good, picture's good. I know I still look old and ugly, but I'm old and ugly, so I can't help you with that. Adrian, I don't know. I'm beginning to think I'm never going to get that one back, which is sad because I've got all those old videos and stuff on there. I think what happened is they shut it down for spam because I think this is what happens. I wasn't using it much after the Super Bowl because there wasn't that much to talk about. Then free agency started, and then I started doing live stream from my garage, from my workshop and from work, and I would call it Cowboys on the Job, or Cowboys in the Shop, or Cowboys working on the kitchen from hell. And we were talking about the Dallas Cowboys, but I think the problem is the YouTube bots are looking at that and they're seeing Dallas Cowboys, but they're like, we don't see any Dallas Cowboys. Even though everything I do is about the Dallas Cowboys, they don't understand that it's a bot. And so that's where I think it got shut down. So it's been shut down now a third time. And you can't actually talk to anybody at YouTube. You go basically to YouTube help and hope that you can get somebody that will actually answer your question and can help you. The first 2 times, the same guy helped me get it back. This time, they said they would look into it and stuff, but I haven't heard up much. So it may be that that one is just dead, and we've got this one. I actually started another one. I just haven't done any. I have to finish getting it set up. So that way we'll do that one as like the working videos. So whenever I do work and stuff and live stream in there, we'll do it there. Who do you think would make a good backup running back? Well, I think you can get a good running back that'll be okay in later rounds in the draft. If Duke Johnson gets cut, I would love to see him actually in our backfield because he's a great pass catcher and he would be a great change of pace back. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. I'm trying to see some of these comments here. I really need to have reading glasses on because I can't. The print is so small. You want Mike Weber? Okay. We need a good backup quarterback. Well, the reality is, if we lose Dak, we're going to be in trouble anyway. There are, honestly, how many quality backups are there out there? Quality backups are starters these days. There's really not a whole lot of guys out there. I mean, the fact that Bud Fumble still had a job, the fact that Brandon Wheaton and Matt Castle are still out there. The reality is, if Dak goes down for any length of time, the season's over. Oh yeah, we play the AFC East. We got to play New England. We got to play Buffalo. We got to play the Jets. We play the Miami Dolphins. We also got to play the Rams. We got to play Minnesota. We got to play Green Bay. We got to play Chicago. We got to play the Lions. It's not going to be an easy schedule. And the funny thing is either you're playing teams that are really, really good or ones that are really, really bad. There's not a lot of teams that are really in the middle unless you say Minnesota and Green Bay. I still think Green Bay is not going to be that good. We'll have to wait and see. Minnesota still has Kirk Cousins, a guy who's never beat Dak Prescott. And keep in mind, too, and this is one of those things I've been thinking about, half of the teams that make the playoffs the year before don't make it the next year. So who are the three that we're going to look at in the NFC and say that don't make the playoffs? I said last night to Philly 500, I think that the Eagles are going to have some problems. I think the Rams may have that Super Bowl hangover. And they're kind of losing a few players here and there too. And Jared Goff kind of went downhill towards the end of the season. You still have question marks on Todd Gurley and the arthritis that started out in his knee. And they lost the other running back that they had. So you wonder, are the Rams going to be as good as they were? Is John McVay still going to be the wonder kid? And you look at, say, Atlanta after their Super Bowl, they came back down there. They still made the playoffs, but they weren't the same team. And then, of course, you saw them in the toilet last year. New Orleans. Is New Orleans going to be as good? I think they're going to be good, but I don't know that they're going to be as good. I think they're going to take a step back, but I think they'll still be a playoff team. And Chicago. Is Chicago really that good? Yeah, well, and they got a new coach, too, with Green Bay. What about one of the starting quarterbacks in the AAF being brought in as a backup? Well, I'm sure here's the thing with the Cowboys that you've got to like is the Cowboys have been great looking under every single rock finding talent. Injured guys that have been around and stuff like that. They have brought so many players in, and as Stephen Jones has said, it's a 365-day a year acquisition of players. And I truly believe that. So they'll find somebody that should be hopefully capable. But for me, if it were me, here's the thing. I've preached this for as long as I've been on. Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. That defensive line. I still want that 340-pound gorilla in the middle that will get that push, that will put the fear of God in the quarterback. And you get Robert Quinn on one side and DeMarcus Lawrence on the other. You talking about giving a quarterback less than 2 seconds to go ahead and get rid of the ball. You're going to get turnovers. You're going to keep the linebackers clean. Your cornerbacks don't have to hold up for long. They're going to get turned. I mean, to me, that's the spot I would go for, because I look at teams like the Giants. The Giants never had like shut down corners. What they've always had was a great pass rush every time they've won the Super Bowl. That defensive line, that defensive front that smothered quarterbacks was all the difference in the world, and that's where I would go. Yeah, well, I've heard that too, but they would have to give up a king's ransom to do that. But then again, I'll never say never. But if you think that they wanted a number one for Earl Thomas, imagine what they would want for Russell Wilson. 3 number ones? Hey, Joseph, what's happening, man? Um, Doing a little test run here of our new system, where I'm actually learning how to do it. There's actually one more trick that I've got to learn, and that is actually taking my cell phone and making that a remote camera. And once I do that, basically, I can literally hook up 24 different cameras to the system. I tell you what's funny is I get people message me all the time and stuff, and um, I try and answer as much as possible and things. And let me see if I can actually find this, because this was kind of funny. Um, and I had a person who wanted to video chat, and it's like I don't do video chats and things like that. And it was like, oh well, give me a call because I want to talk about Cowboys. And I'm like, I'm at work and stuff. And this person sent me a message. Um, what is the message? It was kind of funny because they said, okay, hey Mark, I got a question. What do you think about vaginal rash or do this year? I just put what? I was like, what? I'm like, okay, so this is a troll, right? They said, oh, sorry, spell check, Vander Esch. Um, so I get a lot of people that send me messages, Facebook, Instagram, phone calls, um, text messages, Facebook messages on my Facebook profile, on Jobu Sports Report, Cowboy Jobu on YouTube, and the comments and stuff. And I try and answer as many as possible, but it's just hard to get to it all. So understand, it's not that I'm trying to ignore anybody. It's just there's just not enough hours in the day. I was just talking about that, Richard, outside when I was outside. I don't think Rico is. I don't think he's got the mentality or the dexterity to play defensive tackle. I think about him getting the concussion in practice when he hit the ground, and being a number 3 tackle. I mean, that changing from a guy who played football in 8th grade to coming out and trying to become a tight end to now becoming a defensive tackle, you're getting hit from the tight end, from the tackle, from the guard, from the fullback. You have to literally have your head on a swivel, and you have to understand your technique. And with football, professional football now, there's not enough time to really teach a guy all of the different nuances and things. Basically, you got to come in there and have the basis of being in there. There's only 12 padded practices in preseason and 11 during the season. It's just not enough time to teach a guy. So we're going to try one more thing here. Let's slip back over. Sorry. I don't move as fast as I used to. But we're going to slip back over here and see Yeah, baby. I'm doing a test run here. I'll be finished in a few minutes. And so, bam, and the magic of television, I'm right back here. And I realized that I didn't turn on the football gods. So I want to thank everybody who came in and checked this out. For me, this is kind of cool to be able to use all this stuff in here. In fact, let me try one more thing before I get back out here, because this is one of my favorite Man, I just love this set. Oh, I just love my set, man. So, let me get your final thoughts here before I get out of here on what you think about the new deal, having the multiple sets and being able to go from place to place to place. Well, Stephanie, I don't know. YouTube, it gets crazy. You run, the bell's rung, right? Well, and this is not my, okay, understand this is not my normal night and everything else. I just wanted to do this tonight to, there's only one way to know if this really works. And that is actually by going in here and testing it out. So, hoping that my sound still works. Let's see. Switching back to my regular microphone. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hear me? Okay. All right. So I just want to make sure that I can go from one space to another. Miss Jackie, how you doing, Miss Jackie? Miss Jackie, I knew about Lyle Collins having the shoulder surgery, and I had just finished trying to upload it, but unfortunately when you're driving around the road, sometimes it takes a little bit of time before it gets up there. But I appreciate you making sure that I'm on top of it. And see, that's the thing I always say about this channel is you see me all the time, but it's not just me. It's really all of us together that make this thing work, because it's without people like Joseph Hartley. Joseph Hartley has done so much to help out this channel. Miss Jackie keeping you guys in order and things like that, taking care of the shirt and stuff for Dak and things. All of you guys that are coming in, commenting, subscribing, super chats and everything else. I wouldn't be here without all of you guys doing there. So, I appreciate all of the stuff that you guys do. And I'm going to keep working hard to try and bring this thing on to another level each and every week, that we're going to get better. And by the time this season gets here, I'm hoping that it's going to be a special season. I get this feeling, and I've been watching the Cowboys since my first memories of life, okay? And I've got this feeling with the Cowboys right now, and I look at the talent that we've been able to amass right now, the youth on this team and stuff, the attitude, the way these guys are getting together. I've got this really good feeling about this team. So I'm like really, really excited for where we are. And let me try one more clip real quick and see, because this is how I'm feeling. No, actually, I'm not feeling like this. But
23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That's right. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. All right, so with that being said, I'm tired, boss. I'm real tired. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to turn down the lights, because this party is over.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.